Cavecast, the uncensored show for nerds of all kinds.
Nothing that we say tonight is for sure. This is just us kind of dreaming, maybe a small, like, kind of like what if, kitchen talk, I guess, for them or something. Sure. But in the same hand, it's kind of fun because I think that, just the idea of it and then, thinking about what we would do if we went to these places or stuff like that, because, it's either to, hold ourselves accountable or just look back and go like, no, that idea will never happen, so, but in the same hand, sure. It's just kind of fun to talk about, so.
Well, I mean, I guess, so I think some of this is going to be probably a lot of repeating for a lot of people that have heard me talk about stuff. So I guess I feel bad. But like I was saying earlier, I don't know how much you kept in. It's like I was thinking about this. I'm like, wow, this is kind of hard because of the fact of like this is not for like leisure per se. Mm-hmm. This is for like you said, the show. So mine, I guess the first one, it doesn't have to be in order, but I'm sure this would be the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it can be in no particular order.
Well, you'll understand why.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
I actually almost put that on my list.
So,
yeah.
And it is for food purposes. Now, obviously, yeah. I'd want to go back to Permane Brothers and what was the other one? There was another one that I went to all the time. But anyways, so Pepe's. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. See, I've been to Permane Brothers. I've not been to Pepe's.
Pepe's, there's a couple of locations kind of like Permane Brothers. But anyways, I actually yes, do that. But I want to kind of go like to all the good places in Pittsburgh, like within reason, I guess.
Yeah.
If I could say, let's say those two are a given, I'd want to do like 3 more places. You know what I mean? Like those don't count in my opinion. So I'd want to hit like 3 places. So yeah.
So let me ask you this: would you? I mean, obviously, like if we're in Pittsburgh, we like take the advantage to do like a shut up and eat it, and stuff. So what would you want to do? Would you want to? I mean, it would probably be a big feat, but either way, it's kind of like, would you want to film individual episodes at each individual restaurant?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So what I was thinking is that not necessarily like it, because I don't want to blow my whole wad on one video. So it would be one of those things where I think that maybe I would actually break it down to like save one for us or whatever. But what I'm getting at is that yes, film 3 or 4 different episodes while we're there. Mm-hmm. Even if we have to, but even if we have to do lunch and dinner because, we're only there for like 3 days or 2 days or something.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is that I think more so traveling for the show for me is obviously it's not going to be Riker Road. It's going to be the detour.
Right.
So like, I guess that's something we should have cleared up too, but it's like, Riker Road, this is going to sound so pompous, and I don't mean it that way. The name will get us to be able to travel. It won't be the show that's traveled.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Well, because I mean, they are 2 separate entities. Correct. Completely. Yeah.
So that being said is that with the detour, it's the fact of food based. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe somewhat of what you're going to say, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. Horror is not the right word. Spiritual, haunted location things. So
one of mine is a haunted location, but it's actually not the 2 that we've talked about.
Okay.
So yeah.
But no, so that being said is that the fact of, yes, I feel like Pittsburgh is one of the closest things, and it's more outside of our comfort zone, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's kind of directly next to us, and in the grand scheme of things, relatively cheap to do compared to the other stuff.
Oh, for sure.
So that's why I was like, well, probably in this order, but yeah.
Yeah, well, because honestly, Pittsburgh to me, like I would like to be able to, like, I want to say this right, because it's not that I had a bad time while I was visiting you. It was just that like there wasn't a lot, because that was the last time I was there was when you were living there. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like it was a great time all around. Everything was awesome, but it was just like,
you were also young.
I was young. I was also, I think that was when I was on break from college. So like I wasn't able to like relax really. It was kind of like, I'm going to go travel, go do this thing. And then I got to come back and 2 days later, now I got to travel again.
Right.
So like, being able to make it like a thing to where like, no, dude, like we're both adults now. Like, we both like, have our own money. We have our own mindsets, like that type of deal where instead of being like, Mom, can I get this? Or like, that type of thing, So what I will say was that I don't remember like exactly how it felt, but I remember being on the Strip and like walking, you know, like walking down Pittsburgh, and like again, like maybe I was just in a really good part or whatever. I don't know much about the city, but dude, it was really peaceful. It was a lot of fun. Like
most of it is.
Yeah, it was kind of like when I took my trip to Colorado and we were walking around, and I'm like, this is Denver. This is super, like, of course it would be super chill, but it's like, you know, the idea of like, but it was also like, wow, like it's kind of normal. Like there's your homeless person, there's your evangelical Christian, here's this, here's that. Oh, this is the outside bar. It's just so like, to me, like I really enjoy that. Like as much as I like being out in the country and that's where I want to live, I do enjoy like exploring cities like that. That's actually a lot of fun.
I'm
really cool.
I'm weird like that too, where it's like, I'm torn because I want the like, almost like isolated country life, but I'm such a city boy at heart as well. And like, that's where I felt the most comfortable was in Pittsburgh and more specifically downtown. So having like this sounds assholish too, but like maybe like a bullshit apartment or something that like I go to stay in every couple of months or whatever, just you know, like a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom place. Like I would love that. Yeah. And not necessarily live there, but like live there, you know, and like, it's just for some reason, you know, Ohio being where I was born and raised, but like leaving my home state and going there, like there was just something about it. But then I also know that there was a lot of good places to eat and I haven't been there in years. So I'm also wondering what I'm missing or what else is there, because it's not just the Strip. Like there's other places that we could go and or that are new or that I just didn't know about before, because yeah, the Strip District's great, but there's way more shit than just there. Right. So that's why I'm saying like Pittsburgh in general, not just the one place, like let's go find some shit here. Yeah. And if we've got to work to do that, I'm okay with it, because oh no, you mean I got to eat this fucking sandwich for my job? Oh, boo. Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's like work, but it isn't work. So I don't care. So the traveling to somewhere that I want to go for leisure, the amount of work that I'll put in is already going to be awesome work. And then I'm going to be done, cameras off, and now I can go do what I want. Right. So it's like, that's how I look at it. But yeah, sorry, man, I was blabbing.
No, you're good. No, this is what I want, man. I think that like, obviously the other thing too is that like, could you imagine if we got a Shut Up and Eat It episode with Brent? And
man,
like, do like
we would just see popsicles.
Yeah, right. Seriously, it's like, all right, like today we're gonna unbox this, you know. So, but no, but like, you know, being able to like just have him either tag along or even it's like, hey man, we're gonna be done shooting at 4. Yeah, doing this episode, because like there's this weird perspective that I guess like people have of content creators, is that like when I would watch Scam School, which is one of the guys that would feature on Film Right, he's the guy with the spikes, Brian Brushwood. He does like street magic and stuff, but I remember him talking at one point on one of the podcasts was that he was like, yeah, he's like, we were actually pitching Scam School as a TV show in these certain areas. So he's like, that's why certain times whenever you would see us like do episodes, we were in New York or we were in Las Vegas or we were doing this stuff or whatever, where it's kind of like, imagine running into him and being like, oh no, they're just out to dinner, but they were there because of this. You know, it's just an interesting thing where like, because I think that if we are ever going to get recognized or if there's ever going to be somebody that wants to say hi, I think Pittsburgh is the place that it's going to happen. Really? Genuinely. Like, really? Because Cleveland obviously I think has the same kind of potential because there's always just random people there, like tons of people all the time. Pittsburgh, to me, it's like it makes me think Pittsburgh Steelers. It makes me think like, you know, just that whole thing where it's like, no, there's a whole different culture there that I'm not around, you know. So it's interesting because I mean we have a lot of, you know, like people that watch us in the States, so it's just interesting to see like what would happen, you know. Yeah, but, I mean, it does make me wonder about going to other states, but it seems like even on the coffee time and stuff or whatever that I've seen lately, that a lot of people, like not a lot, but there's a lot more comments that come through. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a native Ohio, you know, or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, there's a bunch coming through. I'm like, "Well, what the fuck? Like, where is everybody from?" And then they'll start saying like, "Oh, okay, well, that's why." Like, it'll be like way down south or fucking like way in Toledo or something like Alaska,
you know,
or some shit. Yeah,
but no, it's okay. So Pittsburgh is where you think, but either way, like. I don't care if we do or don't. Like, I just want to go back to Pittsburgh and eat food. And oh man, I have to film it. So. Right. Well, I think that's honestly that's a win for both of us. But I mean, that would be a big win for you, man. Like that's you've wanted to go back there for a while. You've talked about like well before life even changed. You were talking about 100%. You know? So that's been something I think that's cool. That's like a fire that has been alive in you.
and has not gone away. It's like I cannot be quenched, essentially. What's interesting is actually, so my first one is food related.
Okay.
And it was, not to keep bringing him up, but Brent really did did inspire me, because the second that I watched him go to this place, I was like, bro, this would be so much fun. Like, just like whether it's just you and I, or whether or not like people attack, like whatever, like it would be great. Is if we went to the Heart Attack Grill in Las Vegas.
Oh,
bro, just like, and actually try the challenge. Like, what if it's like, no, dude, we're not here to necessarily try something or whatever. We're here to try, like, make it like a challenge video.
Yeah.
Where it's like, let's see if we can take down this thing. I'm like, are we gonna, you know, wave our flag? I'm like, no, dude, I got the meat sweats. I can't do it. But just like the element of the fact that they have this, like the spanking area of like when you don't do it, Because like I know for a fact I'm straight up going to become a bitch if that happens. 'Cause I'm already going to assume I'm not going to be able to plow it. And if I do, I'm probably going to puke after. So, but
well, I mean, that's the name of the game.
Yeah,
dude.
right. But no, I'll do it. I'm there. I'm working. I am going to. I'm going to make sure it fucking happens.
Yeah.
You know. But no, that was like that was kind of like the first thing that I think that's what kind of like sparked this idea. Was that I was like, man, like I really want to go to the Heart Attack Grill. That'd be a lot of fun, you know, just to film it. Or even if we didn't film it, it would be a great experience. But especially if we film it,
yeah,
you know,
agreed.
that just like the whole experience, especially if we get like a waiter or waitress that is like super into it and is like, you know, being obnoxious and like all that stuff. Like, dude, like that's the shit I want on camera. It's just a ridiculous, just, you know, like adventure that we take that is in, you know, Sin City. It just seems like it would be a lot of fun.
Or like Dick's Last Resort. Isn't there one in like North Carolina or some shit?
Oh, is it, or where they treat you terrible?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 So like there's that, but no. So Vegas, huh? Like Vegas is kind of lightweight on one of like my bucket list. It's a lower one. Like if it doesn't ever get done, I'm not going to be upset. But Vegas is definitely one that I like this, you know, just the place in general that I wanted to go to and spend a couple of days. So that being on there would definitely do both. We're like, we could be working, just like Pittsburgh, like working and still kind of, you know, get that like I guess itch out of the way as well, because I just want to experience it. Like I've heard everybody that has gone has said it's great, but after a couple of days, you're fucking over it. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm like, all right, I want to go have my couple of days. So yeah, that would be cool, man.
Well, the interesting thing is that I have yet to go to Vegas in a way that's for leisure. I've only been there for work. So like whenever there's been like rallies and stuff, because like we go from like, you know, from Vegas to like Colorado or Florida or whatever. Like
you would
kind of like,
still
you know,
be working, but like, come on, man. Me and you're not. Your boss isn't going to yell at you.
Yeah, no. What's in the thing is, what's interesting is that the times that I have stayed, like now, granted, like I've stayed at like some of like the resorts, just because it's like no, like this is where our, you know, like big event is happening. So. There's something kind of cool of like, no, if you can stay in a casino, it's like, no, dude, you can go down, smoke cigarettes inside and just like, you know, go to the couple bars that are there. And then when you're done there, walk across the street, go get some high class, like Italian or something, or like whatever,
Fuck
like
yeah.
Just that type of thing. And to me, I think that it is an experience that even the little bits that I got when I wasn't working, where I was like, whoa, this is a lot. Like just like when you are walking from point A to point B, like it's just the amount of people that are there, especially when you get later into the day and people are very intoxicated.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all that stuff. Like,
so you mean like noon?
Yeah, noon. Yeah. So, which of course that's like, you know, like what, 3 o'clock for us. So, you know, it's like, like the whole thing, but, no, Vegas is really cool. And I think that like, if you have kind of like a plan, like, you know, these are the areas you want to hit instead of just being like, let's just walk around. Like, no, dude, you will get fucking lost. Like the only reason why I am why I didn't get lost was because Blake was with me and he had been there plenty of times and knew where shit was.
What about, I mean, like, I'm not trying to be dumb, but like GPS, like what you, like they have the walking part of it.
They do. It's one of those that like for some reason my brain never goes there. It's always just like, I'm like, oh my God, where is everything? You know, because I'm like, no, I'm not in a car. I can't use a GPS. But no, you're right. Yeah.
Well, no, I just didn't know if like maybe you got shit service or something there or whatever. So
no, I mean, because it was one of those that like we would because like work is weird whenever we end up at some rallies, because there are some rallies where it's like, dude, we are just slammed. Like everybody is just all hands on deck. And then there's other times where it's like, okay, like they're divvying up the week differently now. So sometimes you have some downtime more than what you would have on another day.
Sure.
So I think what we did was like at 11 a.m. on like the second day we were there or something, we chilled until like maybe 3 and just like walked around, got some food, and we went to In-N-Out and, got some, really good burgers and everything. And then after at 3 o'clock, then it was work from 3 to 9, and then it was like, okay, like we're doing this now or something. So,
sure.
So again, like I only got like little tastes of it here and there, but in the same hand, it was just kind of like, all right, like this is, this is pretty extravagant. This is wild. I would definitely want this to be a limited amount of time that
Correct.
I would be here. Cause like people that spend a week in Vegas, I don't know how number one, how they survive, from all the, different shit that they're doing. But also secondly, it's like, bro, like, are you tired? Are you okay? Like, but anyway, but
No, all the cocaine. Like,
no, right.
Come on, man. Keep up.
So, all right. So what about your second one? So what's on your mind?
It's a bit of a cop out, but we already kind of touched on it. And I'm going to be like that guy and just say, and not the world, but I think there's something compelling about maybe like our own Triple D or something, like the United States, man. Maybe try to for food.
Yeah.
And, hit something, whether it's one thing in every state, or if it's like, well, while we're in Kentucky, we'll go here as well. Like,
sure. Yeah.
Or if it's like, nope, we're going to go to all the states. We're going to pick one restaurant for, like lunch and dinner. It's like, okay, 2, but it's just like, if we could do something like that, that would be really awesome, because it would not only would it give us an excuse to travel, but it would hopefully give us kind of like that whole Rhett and Link mentality. Now, granted, they've been all over, but that's like different palates and different foods and like what things taste like over here. And like, I know it's not, again, like different ethnicities per se, but it's like, dude, the food's gonna taste different when you go to fucking like Oklahoma when they make something. You know what I mean? Like it's got to. So it's just like maybe what they pair stuff with. So there's just something about seeing it on TV is great. Don't get me wrong, and that's that takes a big like part of the like it takes a big chunk of the appetite out for me. But like I want the rest of it. Yeah, I want to actually taste the stuff or try the things. So I think that if we could just travel the United States, some of it drive, just to like vlog and do things as well, because it gets kind of boring. Like I would say, just flying all the time. Now, if it's going to take you 3 days to drive something, fuck no. But
I will sit for 6 hours to avoid 3 days.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that like, the Pittsburghs, the Chicagos, maybe the Michigans for like mom's spaghetti or something like, no, drive to those. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, and it's like, I wonder how long it would take us. And not, and I'm not saying because, we have to save up, which we do. I'm saying if money was no object, like how long would it take us to book flights and, make the arrangements and figure out which ones we want to do? And because that's another thing I was thinking about is, okay, sure, we want to do this stuff in Pittsburgh. I'm going to probably have to expense a Riker Road day to go out there and talk to people face to face and see where things are at and what we can do. And like hotels, no brainer, but filming somewhere in somebody's restaurant, you have to get permission. Yeah, exactly. And we are close enough that it's like, just take the 2-hour trip, go down there. Oh, darn, spend the day. But it's like, no, you kind of still are working. Yeah. I'm going to need to take the next 4 to 6 hours and go down and be like, okay, well, I want to go here. Kyle said he wanted to do this one. Let's check. Okay, these are a no. Now we got to go to our other options here and then go check. So there is a lot to it, and it is a lot of fun and games, but there is some actual work that needs to be put involved in these things, and that includes if we want to travel the United States. Right. And so it makes me wonder how we will be able to do that.
Well, I think that this is also the thing too, of like, why, like, there's multiple reasons why there hasn't been like a Shut Up and Eat It episode that's been done, just because like other stuff,
it's just been, it's
just like whether or not like other content has become, more important at the time, or whether or not it's weather or if it's life situation or like whatever. Like that, what I will say is that the few times that we have been able to experience what it's like to be welcomed into a restaurant, to have the freedom to kind of, within reason, do whatever we want. Yeah. And just like seeing the just the video come to life is so interesting. But there's also a 2-month process that leads up to that, or a 2-week process or whatever, where it's like, it's, networking. Cause I mean, that's one of the things that I was actually like really like, not that I was shocked, but I was really proud of you. Like when I would, come home from work and you're like, all right, man, I visited these 3 restaurants. 2 were a no, 1 was a yes. This is what we have. They're going to give us this. Let's do this or whatever. Let's plan for that. And it's like, all right, cool. Let's check off this date. This is when we hope this happens. That's when it's planned. Riker Road's still happening. The Cavecast is still happening. Yeah. Life is still happening. Like leisure is still happening all in this time, but this is always in the back of our minds whenever that's happening. It's such an interesting concept that I think that doing, these, extensive travels and doing stuff like that is that we've already figured out how to do it in our state. So it's kind of like, well, what's the next evolution? That's not that difficult. It's communicate, and it's like, it's just, it's a matter of how long that communication takes and everything. And so it's like, it's interesting because I think that it, like different projects could stack on top of each other where it's like, all right, well, Cali is a big one. Like this is one that like, that's our Moby Dick essentially. Where it's like, that's what we want this year. But we can visit 5 kind of semi-local states and then maybe jump over and do that. Well, now Cali's taken care of, so it's like, then we can move on. Like, I think that's really compelling. I think it's a lot like just the US. Like it's like correct to me. I think that I don't want to like speak like in the way of that, like limiting us in any way, but it's like if all we ever did was just stuff in the United States, but we still did some extravagant stuff, to me, that's enough.
Correct. That's what I'm saying, man.
Genuinely, dude. It's really cool.
That's where like I think that it's got this very obtainable like position that we could put ourselves in as far as like, doing all of this. Mm-hmm. That's why I said, going like, traveling the world or whatever. It's like, yeah, we probably could go to Ireland and we probably could go to fucking Thailand. Mm-hmm. Like ever, like, like that would be, like, so it's not, I'm not trying to be, a Debbie Downer or anything, but like, I'm trying to be realistic here.
Sure.
Where it's like, sure, we could achieve those things. And I'm not saying that we can't or we're not good enough, but trying to give myself an obtainable goal here that isn't like, well, God, how much is it a plane cost to go to Thailand? And how much is it? Well, how do we convert? Like, and then how much is it going to cost? It like, it's all these things.
Do we need a translator? Do we like,
yes.
That shit is important.
So, going like, hey man, you want to go to Chicago and get some deep dish pizza? Yeah. All right. 3 weeks. I'll get us some tickets. Let's plan on going to these 2 places. I'll call them.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's way fucking different.
Well, yeah. Well, because I mean, I think that honestly, like it's one of those that like when I think of stuff outside of the country, because like even like, Mike has said it before where he was like, dude, he's like, if you ever want to come visit the UK, like you've got a place to stay.
Well, sure.
And it's like, okay, cool.
But that's the one place.
See, to me, like I don't look at traveling outside of the country, maybe as weird as it sounds, but like I don't look at it as an opportunity to make content only because like, no, I am there to visit friends, so it's like, it's a very, but again, like, do you think that for 1 second that me and like Mike or us or whatever wouldn't like make something or have some fun or like something, but in the same hand is I think that stuff is like cooler when it's kind of like spontaneous in a way.
I get you.
But like, cause even like visiting John or whatever, like, it's like, no, like, like if we ever did visit Ireland, it would mainly be like, no, this is our vacation. But in the same hand, like he's even said, he's like, no, dude, look me up, man. He's like, we'll hang out. We'll go to a pub. We'll do our thing. Like I kind of almost view that more like vacation. But again, it doesn't mean that something couldn't happen. But it's just that's kind of just how my mind kind of like processes it, I guess.
I'm not saying that you should never turn it off and never have your own downtime or leisure time because but what I think what I'm about to say is maybe. But like the opposite is that if you're gonna do something like that, so here's my thing is that let's say John, we're going to Ireland, right? How long does it really take you to record something? Yeah. Honestly, like what we're doing right now, an hour, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You're gonna be there for like 4 or 5 days, probably 3 days. Let's say even like at the shortest amount of time, right?
Yeah.
90 minutes, it's like I know that you're there for vacation, but it's to me, it's like, why not take all of the opportunity that you can?
Sure.
That also falls into the point of, okay, well, take your own time. You are for the rest of the 90 minutes that you're there.
Right. Yeah.
So that's all kind of where my brain goes into, where it's like, I look at the fact of anything and anywhere I go day to day that I could do something like that. I don't. But when it comes to traveling, it's like, well, no, you're here. Take the opportunity for not being in Ohio.
Yeah. Take out your damn phone and record what's going on.
100%.
Yeah.
Still live in the moment.
Yes.
But take that 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, to each their own. It was just one of those like, nah, man, you're going to record something.
I think that what it would probably come down to is that, like, if something cool happens, like my phone's coming out. Like, it's like, I mean, it will happen. It's just, it's weird because, like, I don't know, like, more so, I think I look at it that, like, maybe it would be like the whole idea that I'm trying to, like, survive and get there, so it's because whenever I've done long trips, it's been more so like, all right, I know I have to film this while I'm thinking about that. How do I get my equipment across like that? Like, what I do for Cornwell is very, very different, where it's like, no, I have like 2 suitcases full of equipment that have to make it through, this, or like, we would have a much simpler setup that we would be taking. But in the same hand, it's just, I don't know, like, I think what needs to happen is I need to do a long trip over water. And it's terrifying.
Let's take a boat instead then.
So no boats. No, dude, Ron, actually, did I tell you that he was like, dude, we got to take a cruise. And I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Because he was like, no, dude. He's like, I'll protect you. He's like, I'll be your big bear. It'll be fine. I'm like, no, you don't understand, dude. I'm like, I will freak the fuck out.
You don't understand. I will freak the fuck out.
He's like, no, he's like, it's great, dude. Like, you're in the room and the water is crashing against. I'm like, stop it. No, he was like, honestly, he's like, you do forget that you're even out on water at a point where it's like you're just like in your room doing your thing. Nah, dude, I won't forget. I have to go to sleep on water and I have to remember that there's a possibility that I will wake up and there's going to be a bass at my foot and wonder, oh shit, that's right. I'm on the ocean and we're sinking.
Your luck, it would be a storm the entire 7 days you're gone. Just the worst. And you're like stuck in it, can't turn around. Y'all just got to anchor and fucking sit there.
It's like, we got to turn this piece of shit around. No, we'll capsize.
Yeah, like you are just going to be in it to fucking win it, Kyle.
No, it's just, I will fly because at least then it's like, well, as long as we don't land in the ocean, like we could crash on land. That's fine. Like, at least then it's over. Like,
crashing, you're going to die, whether it's at least in the water, you could be put out if you're on fire.
No. I would much rather go into the ground like a dart and it be over than to go into the water and sink and then drown. Like that is because now tons of factors. I am aware my brain is not going to stop. Like, at least then there's a point that there's a cutoff and it's like, nope, heaven. So anyway, but yeah, no, heaven. So to me, I think that like getting to go, overseas and everything, like I got to get over my fear of that and like genuinely be on a plane. Also, like I do want to get like the surgery that helps with your eardrums.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a proper name for it, but Mike was actually the one that told me about it. He was like, no, they do like a puncture in your eardrum. It allows pressure to come out. I desperately need that. So it's like knowing that like if my ears are taken care of now, only my fear is left, not my discomfort.
Sure.
So it's like being able to just take that flight, do it and get there, have a great experience, come back, and then just have like some incredible memories, and it's, and again, we live a content creator life. There's no way in hell we're going to be in a situation like that. And we wouldn't. It's just, I think it would more so like sneak up on me.
Sure.
Where it's like, wow,
okay.
like I came back with like 2 hours of footage and I didn't even realize it, but yeah. So, but, yeah, I'm thinking about water again. It's making me freak out. So it's, you ended on yours, right? Or what was it mine?
Yeah, because
I want to make sure I'm not over 7. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember because I did the whole like just travel in the world and stuff.
Okay, no,
the States.
Yeah, so travel the world.
Yeah,
no. So okay, up. So my second one's up. So I want to make sure I'm keeping it up. So the second one is interesting because we've talked about going to the Conjuring house We've talked about going to the Lizzie Borden house or even checking out like Mansfield Reformatory. Like you've talked about how you want to stay. I'm not staying. I'll investigate and then I'm going the fuck home or sleeping in the van outside if I have to stay. But there is one house that is in California that I have always wanted to visit. And we did a really, I'll wait till you're done drinking because I don't want to make you laugh. We did a really shitty podcast episode about it, like on the Kyride 425 podcast. Just I was in survival mode trying to talk about it. I read details for way too long. It was like severely long-winded. But I think that the location is strong enough that I think that we would be able to have a really cool investigation if we went. And it's the Winchester house.
Oh,
where like okay. Everything like it was made to like confuse the spirits, where it's like when you open up a door, like it's just like a 17-foot drop off or whatever. Like it's like, you know, doors lead to nowhere, stairs take you downstairs when they're supposed to go up. Like it's just like completely crazy. And having us in night vision and walking around and trying to figure stuff out and like doing EVPs or different stuff, like I don't know, like that seemed really compelling.
That could be fun.
Just because at that point it's not like, yes, like the house is active, but now it's we're in a fucking maze and we have to get out, you know, where it's like, what if it's like us sitting like in a hallway, like, I can't walk anymore, man. I need to get out of here. I want to go back to the hotel. I want some fucking sleep.
Yeah. Fuck the ghost. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's like, no, we're staying here all night. So
can of corn, Diet Coke, can of corn. Fucking Coco Diaz.
God, Coke, that man is a legend. So apparently he's sang for a band recently. He was on stage. He was like ripping it on stage. I don't know, like
hell yeah,
I don't know what it was, but he has that low guttural voice. So you imagine like what he was doing.
He probably popped like 16 gummies and was like, "Let's go."
Yeah, he does the Stars of Death, and I don't know how he survives.
I want him so bad. I want it so bad. Bro, I just need one.
No, thank you.
Just one.
No. That just sounds like a bad time.
Sounds like a great fucking time.
He popped him before he went on a plane.
He had like 3.
He's just like, yeah. He's like, so what? He's I'm flying. Nothing's happening. You know. So, but no, like getting to visit the Winchester house, I think would be just it would be a whole different scale of something that we could do, because it's kind of like the Conjuring house. Like, no, like it's creepy. Like it has its lore, all that stuff. Same, you know, like. But in the same hand, it's a house that you can like, oh, here's the living room. Oh, here's the bathroom. Here's the basement that, you know, the stuff has happened. Here's the attic. The Winchester house is a mansion. And it's this humongous thing that is like just severely active that, to me, if we're going to do something that would just terrify the both of us because of one situation or another, I think it would probably be something that we could have a lot of fun with. Like genuinely, bro, it would be really cool.
You're going to hate, fucking hate my next thing. Now, well, it doesn't go with this, but as far as like kind of doing the same thing with the channel, but what I want to do. Now, this is not a location or anything, but it's just like, I want to go find and look for the staircases.
Okay.
And skinwalkers.
God damn it. No, it's okay.
Yeah, dude.
I will look for the stairs, and I will guarantee you we will find a skinwalker. That's
a twofer.
It started off as a staircase video. We don't know. So yeah, right. Yeah. So
bro, I'm telling you, man, like
my God.
That like the spooky shit, because you were like, oh, something that'll scare the both of us. No, it won't. The staircases and the skinwalkers, that'll probably freak me the fuck out. So that's where I'm at with the scary stuff. But no, even at that, the Conjuring homes and things like that, even though they don't quote unquote scare me, I will see, but it's just like they would still be fun to travel to and record for.
Right. Well, because again, I think that like having that dynamic that, you know, again, you've said it before, like where you're not the skeptic, you're skeptical.
Correct.
You know, so we're like, because again, like you and I have said it before, where it's like, just because there's a noise in the house, we don't immediately assume that it's a demon. It's like, no, who's in the house? Like, it's like we think like, no, there's an intruder or something. Yeah. So, but I tend to spook easier. So, you know, it's just one of those where it's like, oh shit, like if I'm in the place where this person did this, and it's like where they walk around and talk to you at night, like it's like, well, now my mind's playing tricks on me, you know? So it's like I don't know like what's real or what isn't, but I will say that doing the staircases, that's actually something I've thought about, is that I will never like want to go skinwalker hunting, just because like if it is real, it's severely dangerous. Like if like you believe in the lore and everything, the staircases are different. It's kind of like the idea that if they are real, you just look at it from a distance and you'll be fine. You know, where it's like, imagine that if we were out in the woods, we caught it, you know, and like, it was like, oh my God, let's zoom in, let's get it. Like, I would probably get like 5 feet away from it and then fucking bolt.
You wouldn't touch it?
Fuck no, I won't touch it. No. And especially I will not walk up them. That it will not happen.
I don't know that I'd walk up them, but I might touch it.
Okay, what do you think would happen if you touched it?
Nothing.
It's already a staircase. Now it's real. So like you're just gonna reach out and touch pure evil? No, but like
no, I don't know that I'd walk up it, but I might. But I don't think I would. I would have to touch it, and I would have to be recorded touching it, being like, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. He could go on the detour and look. But God. No, fucking, because in my mind. People are just taking shit out there. Like they're not like now it's a thing. Now it's a thing.
You think it's like crop circles? Where it's like people are fucking with people?
I truly like it's like halvesies. It's like halvesies.
Yeah.
But I think that for the most part, it's probably people putting stuff out there. Do I think that they are real? It may be, yeah. Like, and the fact of like real ones out there, but I think some of these ones where, you know, people are spotting them all the time where they're like, no, this is where they are a lot. I think people are just, I don't know, maybe they're just shitty staircases. And they're like, I don't know how to recycle this. And bro, me and buddies have done shit like that. There may or may not have been a fucking hot water tank up there by the one house that's red over there. And I'm just saying, like, no, and people are like, there's water heaters in woods,
or the monoliths that showed up in the desert for a little while and then they just fucking peace. Like it's like,
so it's like I don't know, man, but like that is something. But I will say the Skinwalker one. While I'm not saying I don't not believe,
sure,
what I'm saying is that I think that the staircase one is less scary in my mind. That yes, the not Skinwalker hunting, maybe like in a sense of like where Skinwalkers have been sighted and or are like supposed to be around.
Sure.
Like a lot. And it's like, I don't want to catch one. So
like, come back with a bag.
Hey, come here. Yeah, good boy. Like, but it's like, I want to like, kind of like, I guess, investigate, if you will, because not that I bank on maybe finding something. It's the fact of it will be kind of, I don't want to say clickbait, but like, I guess a bullshit episode where it's like, you're not going to really, but it's like, we are actually here where like this has been reported and like maybe talk to some locals or something. But
yeah,
you know, I think that would, but like, I would still go out at night and I would still do that. Like I would do the scary things. And I think that one would be scarier than the staircase one.
It would. And here's the thing is that I don't know if I would like, I've got some very dedicated Native American friends that take that stuff very seriously and like talk like, cause like, I think the one night when we were having the fire where I was like, no, dude, I won't whistle outside. If it's nighttime, I don't do it. And I remember kind of like joking about it and the friend being like, no, like for real, if you are alone and you are out in the woods or if you're in somewhere that is like near wooded areas, do not whistle. And seeing how much they tensed up, where like they didn't elaborate, they didn't say why, but it was kind of like, oh shit, like this, like I guess like even like shamans won't even do that shit. Like it's like that type of thing where it's like they do take it seriously. On the flip side, I would actually be very okay with Bigfoot hunting. Like it's like going out like in like some Bigfoot areas or something, because in my opinion, I think that like all different, you know, kind of just like different creatures and stuff or cryptids, like they kind of like they're like in different areas but like overlap or something. So it's like, you know, maybe it's like we're there for one reason but then something else happens, you know, or like so like we're able to capture something. But I don't know, like that's I would like to visit some areas that have some active Skinwalker like, you know, activity, just to see like, does it feel different? You know, it's like, it's like, what's the vibe? Because even in one of the scary stories that I wrote, like I kind of took like some mentality of like what I've heard is that like, no, dude, when you're in the woods and everything goes quiet, where it's like there's no wind, animals don't make noise, like nothing, like where it's like, no, everything has vacated the area because this thing is now present. You know, it's like that whole like, do you hear anything? No. Well, okay. Well, that's a good thing, right? No, not necessarily. You know, it's like, so to me, it's like being able to like have those experiences and then have the assurance that we'll come out of it fine, you know? So, because I think even then it's like more so like, well, you know, even if nothing like creature happens, like, well, God forbid one of us falls and breaks a leg or something, you know? So like, you know, it's like, there's like true danger. There's stuff like that, like being safe. But I don't know. It is intriguing though. Like, I mean, just having like the detour in the woods, you know, it's like, oh my God, you know?
Right.
So
I guess it did turn into my other one because I really didn't have another one. But going back to the whole Bigfoot thing, you know, I've thought about some stuff, and they're both ridiculous, but it's a thought. What if? So like everybody always talks about how Bigfoot, like, you know, you never see him, and like, you know, they're always in like these weird areas and stuff. Okay, well, there are caves all over the United States.
Yep.
Like, of course, like they could live. Like, what do you mean, dude?
Yeah.
And what if it's not? What if Bigfoot isn't real? And what if it is, just like we said, and it's partly in the name, there are caves all over. What if it's still just cavemen? Just being like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going out there. Look at all those weirdos.
They're all feral and shit. Like, yeah, right. Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Neither one is probably a true thing, but like, I have thought about that too, where it's like, what if Bigfoot isn't a real thing? It's just still fucking legit cavemen because they still live in the caves. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. There is something about the fact that a lot of times when you hear about Bigfoot sightings and stuff, I would argue that cave and cave-like things are around where they've been seen or people have seen. So caves they're shelter. Like, what do you mean? Like,
and there's labyrinths of everything that's below us.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, so like we truly don't know like what all is out there. Like genuinely.
Right.
Yeah.
What if he was also just an experiment that got out of Area 52? Because we all know Area 51 just a cover up for Area 52
and 53.
Right.
It's in both of those.
Both of those, yeah. He was like, he pieced out. He's like, I'm out of this bitch. It's boring here.
I'm tired of like getting my blood drawn and fucking being in tanks and all that. Yeah. No, I think even like with the cave thing, like you and I kind of talked about it the other night, but like the scary like realization again, like whether or not it was faked or not, like it's still very plausible, was that it was showing a map of America and it was like, okay, like this is the, you know, the showing of like where every cave is, and like you're seeing it's done in red. So it's like there's big patches of red here and there. There's like, you know, maybe some scattered across like some areas or something like that. But it's like you can see quite a few points in the landmass where it's like, no, like there are underground like cave systems. And it then said, now here's all of the geographical areas of where people have gone missing. And they all line up. That to me, that's freaky.
Bigfoot.
So again, like, yeah, so it's like, is it a Bigfoot or is it something else? Or is it like, or is it just mainly the fact that it's people exploring, they fall in and now they can't get out? You know, so
it's Bigfoot Skinwalker.
Oh God, that's terrifying. It's like the Predator alien.
He's
like,
a bitch. So is Alien Predator.
Maybe he's a fan. And now he's no longer a fan, and he'll find us, you know. So yeah, like imagine he has like his little studio. Like,
yeah, he's in there watching. You know what, Bigfoot Skinwalker, you're a sloppy bitch.
So and now the memes begins. But no, I think that's a compelling thing, man. I think that's kind of interesting. But regardless, I think that, you know, being able to have our own like Blair Witch experience or do something would be, you know, kind of interesting.
Yeah,
you know, that would be a lot of fun.
It would be. I think that if done right, yeah.
Yeah. To kind of end everything, and I'm really curious to see what you would think about this, but this also, to kind of wrap everything up, is it's a venue for a concert that I think that we should go to.
Okay.
And the first question I'll have for you, even though I think I know what your answer is, because it'll probably be the same answer as mine, but it's the Red Rocks in Colorado. It is a just a huge ass venue that is just like nothing but just the wilderness is in your sights behind the stage.
Beautiful.
The literally big ass Red Rocks are right next to you, and all the seats are fucking. I think that they're like carved out, or like they probably have built like real seating and shit, but it's like they've done it in a way to where like, no, dude, the sound and
It's
how
like,
everything works, dude. It's, oh my God, like being able to like go to a concert and just share that with our audience, dude. Like that to me, that's almost like kind of pinnacle for music.
That's like it's like a bougie Blossom in a sense.
Essentially. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, I think that would be cool. You know, I didn't have anything on there like that as far as like, you know, like incarceration like we did and stuff. Cause I don't mean to sound like that, but like, I feel like that's kind of a given.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now traveling though, I guess is different. Also not trying to be that guy, but it's like, why would I travel to California when I can just wait for them to come in Ohio in September? You know, like,
right.
So like there is that to where like, I don't need to travel for that. So, but I didn't think about things like that though, where it's like, you know, that no, cause it is, I've seen a few things, you know, people recording, you know, there, and I'm like, whoa, this is fucking happening right now. Like that would be a great place to go see any fucking show. Could you imagine seeing like Trans-Siberian Orchestra there?
Oh God.
Fuck yeah.
Oh dude. Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be fire.
Now, so excuse me. So the main question I have for you is, you don't have to be like, oh, the ultimate band or whatever, if you think of a better one later or something, but who is the one band that you would want to see perform at the Red Rocks?
Oh, Sleep Token.
Okay, we're on the same page. Yeah, yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
for sure. Like, I think anybody else and dude, if Ronnie ever sees, he's not going to see us, but like, no offense, Ronnie, but like, I think there is just something about the fact that like, that is almost, if you didn't pick them, if you and know them and like them, that's like illegal,
right? Sacrilegious to do so.
Yeah, like you have to pick Sleep Token.
Yeah.
Now I would say if I could, the perfect show would be Sleep Token, Falling in Reverse, and probably like Alex Terrible or like or like, you know, maybe Bad Omens or something like that. But
sure.
Like a big fucking show.
See, that's because to me, I think that it's like Sleep Token does make sense because I think that it's the environment you're in, dude. Like, I mean, because again, like I'm very careful with the term worship because I did see that somebody did like comment like, no, like Vessel has actually talked about what it means. And it's kind of like the idea of that we all relate to the same things. Let's come together as a collective. Let's worship. You know, it's kind
that
of
makes more sense. You know, it makes me feel better.
Right. But also you like see how like when we've reacted to like the EPs where it's like, no, like this is their way of worshiping sleep. So I think that like has like a double meaning.
Sure.
But in the same hand, let's throw that out for a second. To have an elevated musical spiritual experience like we have had with Sleep Token already in our day-to-day lives and how they make us feel and the things that we relate to, like, dude, I know that being in a venue like that and getting to hear Take Me Back to Eden and, you know, being able to listen to like, you know, something as simple as like Sugar or like, oh, whatever, like, dude, like, it's just like, especially if he does like a live version of Bloodsport, like, dude, like, it's just like that would be just an ascending, no pun intended, but like an ascending experience. It would be just unreal to take it in that way.
I think with him specifically, I think like you were just saying, like, it's almost like, well, you don't go see an opera at a fucking underground, you know, venue.
Yeah.
His whole thing and like being and like, I don't even know how to explain, but like, yes, all of it.
His shtick. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like all of it, his sound, his look, his presence, the stage performance, it deserves to be on that type of thing. Like,
yeah,
that is where, like, again, like you don't go see Broadway other than Broadway. Like that's just what you do.
Right.
It's set for that. It's made for that. Sleep Token is made for a venue like that. And the fact that you know, I don't want to say the fact they have to play other venues, but that they don't have big venues like that constantly,
right,
is kind of a shame.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, why is this Picasso just sitting in the fucking corner of a basement?
Well,
like,
it's
you
like
don't put it over there.
No, it's nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but
nobody puts Vessel in the corner.
It's because I think that like, again, like some people might get pissed off about this, but it's like, I kind of like equate them to like Pink Floyd. Like, and they are not the same genre. I'm not saying anything like that, but it's still the idea of like, no, dude, when you go see a Pink Floyd show, it needs to be in a big venue, because I would say it's what they do. I want to say do better than Sleep Token, because I've not seen Sleep Token live, and I've not seen Pink Floyd either, but I know what Pink Floyd does. You know, I've sat down and watched their concerts before, and it is mesmerizing. It is like, oh my God, like, you know, their set pieces of like, you know, the giant pig that they have that flies down and explodes. And then it's like, you know, these big ass blinding lights come up at certain moments for like when certain drum hits happen, or when these like parts in songs, the lasers, the 13 people that are on stage. Like, it's just, it is begging to be in a venue like that. And I think that Sleep Token is special because it's like, no, dude, these are 4 dudes.
Yeah.
And they literally create an energy that matches that type of thing of like, no, dude, this is the place I want to experience worship. This is the place I want to experience what it's like to hear Vessel be imperfectly perfect on stage, you know, because it's like, no, this is not the studio recording. This is how he feels today. You know, and it's like, it's just,
sure.
It's like, because I think that that's the flavor of live. It's something that you get with a band like that, especially like seeing the videos of him when he is just so thankful and just crying and just like thank you for being here. And it's like, you know, when he ends a show, like I selfishly want to experience that. And and it's like being able to experience it in a place like that. Like, you know, again, it's a huge ass hike. It is not a simple thing to do. It is probably ridiculously expensive on just a concert level, but in the same hand, like shooting for the stars where it's like, nah, dude, like if we could experience something like, it's like that's the only situation that would make me want to publicly do psychedelics. like
really
100%. Like I have never done it. It's something that has like been on my mind or whatever.
Let's
for
book this motherfucker right now.
So like it's just, but again, it's one of those where it's like, nah, dude, like that is like, if there was ever a time that I wanted to stoop to something or to do something in my life where it's like, no, dude, I'm going to do this properly. You know, so it's like, so that big thing needs to happen for me to ever consider that down the road, you know, but in the same hand, it's like, nah, dude, like that's just, I've heard, a couple of people talk about it. I think Buck said that he went there. I think he went and saw either Fish or he saw some. Yeah, because he actually toured like around the country and stuff when he was in his band. It was Hayden's Calling.
Yeah. Okay.
But so I don't know if it was like a part of that or if he just actually just flew out and went. But no, he was just like, no, dude, it was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had.
That's cool.
Just like being able to like just have the music in front of you, but it is just encompassing you. It is just all around you.
Yeah.
You know, with the acoustics, like makes me wonder how many speakers they actually use or how much they actually need, you know, but
yeah, it's actually, just, no, I didn't even think about that. Like how much of it is just like, has that kind of echo and, you know, stuff to it, like naturally. That is a very interesting question. I'm sure it's still a lot, but like probably less than you would think.
Sure. Yeah. It's just, we got big ideas. We have things that we want to do, you know, and again, tonight, like nothing is set in stone, you know, but in the same hand as I do want to ask you guys, as far as the comments are concerned, is that what would you like to see us do? Is there anything that you like can think of that's cooler than what we thought of, or like, oh, this would be a cool experience for you or whatever? Like just throw it below and let us know. Also let us know whatever content you want to see in the future. This has been a very cool episode to kind of just dream for a little bit and think about stuff and, you know, just have our conversation and record it for you guys. That's literally what this is. This would happen out in the living room or it would happen here, you know? So, but nevertheless, Eric, as always, is there anything you would like to say to the audience before we officially sign off for next week and do our thing then?
I want to travel and eat.
Yes, we do. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Adios.